Notre Dame 10, that's in about 5 minutes at 5:30. For those otherwise inclined, I will be holding a service in the beer garden.
I will tell you if
Next event is the men's collegiate novice petite final. Lane 1, University of California, Davis. Lane 2, Orange Coast. Lane 3, Washington State. Lane 4, Long Beach State. Lane 5, UC Santa Barbara. Lane 6, Arizona State.
And I think I 2 minutes. This is the men's collegiate novice petite final. UC Davis, Orange Coast, Washington State, Cal State Long Beach, UC Santa Barbara, Arizona State.
This next race, the men's collegiate novice petite, is for positions 7 through 12 in this event. For positions 7 through 12 in this event. They're on the line and the conditions look pretty reasonable down in SeaWorld Cove.
Attention. Go.
So these are the first novice boats of these universities. Most of these would be new to rowing this year. It's a closed motor skill rowing. In other words, it's the same bodily movements repeated again and again and again. But doing them in conjunction with 8 other people is the real trick. Takes a lot of practice. There we see the UC Davis crew. They're in lane 1, and they seem to be going at it neck to neck with Orange Coast College, closely tracked by Washington State. Looks as though Orange Coast might have pulled out a little bit of a lead at this stage of these crews. Orange Coast are probably the one that are most likely to have what I call true freshmen, that is junior rowers from established junior programs sitting in their boat. So at the moment, Orange Coast seem to have eased out to a little bit of a lead over UC Davis in lane 1 and Washington State in lane 3. There we see the Washington State Cougars. Orange Coast have established a lead. They haven't broken free. UC Davis has still got overlap, and Washington State can still feel their presence there over their right shoulders, pressing to get on terms. As they come down past the 1,000, it's still Orange Coast. You can see there Washington State really sticking them in fast and furious, trying to get back on terms. UC Davis still on track to be in at the mix at the finish in lane 1. Arizona State out on the far side, putting in a very respectable performance here. They might just have the nod over UC Santa Barbara, with Long Beach State trailing at this point. Very tight between Arizona State and UC Santa Barbara out in lanes 5 and 6. Orange Coast still maintaining their advantage at this point, but not exactly breaking free. They might just have a couple of feet of clear water over UC Davis and Washington State, but it looks to be very tight between Washington State and UC Davis for second spot at this point. Orange Coast in lane 2, coming down towards the 250-meter mark to go. It's Washington State that are putting them under the most pressure. The challenge from UC Davis seems to have faltered slightly. Out on the far side, there's a battle royal going on between Arizona State and UC Santa Barbara. The performance of this Arizona State crew bodes well for the future of their program. Washington State really taking up the challenge to Orange Coast. Orange Coast sitting there, haven't taken up the rating yet. Washington State pushing hard. UC Davis still maintaining their challenge. And Long Beach have come back into the mix for that struggle for fourth spot. Orange Coast or Washington State now have overlap. UC Davis maintaining their challenge. Coming down to the line. Orange Coast bring it in very coolly. Didn't really take it up at the end. Really game effort by Washington State. They maintained their challenge all the way through, as did UC Davis, who took an early lead in the race. And Arizona State looks as if they've won this private battle in the second half of the race and just get there ahead of UC Santa Barbara and Long Beach State. That race was positioned 7 through 12 in that event.
Four minutes.
Next event is the Women's Collegiate Novice Petite Final. Lane 1, University of Southern California. Lane 2, Kansas State. Lane 3, University of Alabama. Lane 4, University of California